Well, that's a wrap. It looks like we're done with our month-long caravan.
The I-90 westward bound caravan.
Yep, our last day here up at Fort Lewis Joint Base Lewis McChord. And so we thought we would take a minute or two, maybe 10, and talk about some of the things that we learned about caravanning, because we've never caravan before. This was an absolute first for us. And so today we're kind of getting things ready for tomorrow's trip. We do have one more thing to do tonight with the group, and then we'll be on the road tomorrow. So while it was fresh in our mind, we thought it would be a good idea to share with you the things that we learned about caravanning and things that we'll do because we learned them. It might change the way we caravan in the future.
It'll totally help us.
And not in a negative way.
No, positive.
Because this was a fantastic trip. From start to finish, this was a great trip. So the first, which leads us right into it. So the first thing that I would say is have a plan coming in. Kind of understand what kind of caravan this is. Is it a caravan just to get from A to B, move across the country or whatever? Or is it a caravan to go to destinations and see lots of things? And for us anyway, this was all about hooking up with friends and destinations and seeing lots of things. In fact, packing as much as we could into every location that we were at.
I think we did that quite well.
Yeah, I think we accomplished that goal.
One thing that I learned is you need to learn about the people that you're traveling with and how they travel. Like when we travel, we'll stop and get lunch. But the other ones they just want to get to the gas station and get there, which is totally fine. We don't have a problem with that. So kind of learning how they travel, because some people might want to stop and see a view or go check something out, and others are wanting just to get from point A to B, which is the third thing, communication.
Yeah, but let's go back for a second.
Okay.
So learning how everybody travels, that is going to be a deciding factor on what kind of travel you do.
Correct.
Because that's also going to determine how far you travel each travel day, how long you're going to stay at each location. We decided we wanted to stay at each location about a week. And that also depended on what was around there. But we also didn't want to overextend our travel days. So we had a couple travel days that were 5 hours, and that was a bit much for some folks.
Right.
For us, we're used to 5-hour travel days because we're destination travelers. We're not full-timers, so we're not looking for a short day, stay a while, and then move to another short day. We want to get somewhere and then plant, see lots of stuff,
explore, see everything. Yeah.
and then either move back home or move on to the next thing. So I think you do need to know how the folks in your group travel. Like Teresa said, we're totally okay with finding a nice rest stop, pulling out the coolers and having lunch, or stopping at a restaurant and having lunch. Where what we discovered, and it's not a good thing or a bad thing, it's just the way it is, that the group that we were traveling with wanted to get gas and move on.
Which is totally fine.
Because they were longer days.
You got to be flexible. And
that was what I was going to say, is if you're not flexible, then don't caravan with other people. A lack of flexibility will completely ruin the trip, and that goes for travel days, and that goes for the events and you know, if you don't want to do something, let me put it this way. When we started this caravan, we had met many times leading up to the caravan. And then on the very first day, we made it very clear that if you didn't want to do something, don't do it. You know, just, we're all adults and we can, you know, if you want to go somewhere or you just want a down day or you want to do whatever, do whatever. It's not going to hurt anybody's feelings. And then majority rules. So if the majority wanted to go to one thing and you didn't want to go, then don't go.
Right.
Right, but be flexible enough to understand that there are group needs and desires that kind of overrule, and not really, because if you didn't want to do something, you could just opt out.
Right.
But being flexible is really key in my opinion. Which goes to what you were about to say. Communication, and there's a couple layers to the communication onion. Number one, you want to communicate with everybody in the group what you want out of the group, because I'm the kind of guy that if you don't tell me what you want,
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
What you really, really want, then I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. And so I'm going to make assumptions based on what we discussed in the plan. So if you don't communicate, you're going to get left out of something, or people are going to get the wrong impression of what your desires are in the caravan. Any thoughts on that?
Well, just like we had said before on our mini meetings before leaving, is we talked about what we wanted to do. Kind of do your research on the cities that you're going to or the places that you're going to. Like with Yellowstone, you know, we found out when some of the geysers were going off, and so we kind of planned a trip around that and got that done.
Yeah, so while we were planning the caravan, we kind of decided where we were going to go, what our destinations were going to be. And then what I did as kind of the planner of the trip was I put together a spreadsheet with 5 to 10 things to do within a whatever radius of where we were camping. And so then we kind of had a menu to choose from. And then when we finally got together, we decided, okay, these are the things that we absolutely need to see. We wanted to see Badlands. We wanted to see
Deadwood.
We wanted to go through Sturgis, Mount Rushmore, and all of those things. And then if people wanted to opt out of those, then it was absolutely okay. Nobody had to get hurt feelings or feel left out if you opted out. And there were days that we decided, you know, we're just gonna lay low and maybe get laundry done and you know, kind of get things cleaned up, because you're moving.
And there was a few days that like Dustin and Leslie would go see somebody, or Michael and Shelley went to go see a family
members
and you know what?
Totally cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to drive by my relatives or somebody that's a subscriber on our channel.
Right.
So, you know, those things are going to
none of you reached out and said, hey, love to meet. No. So yeah, you got to communicate. And then the other part of communication is come up with a pretty good communication plan for while you're traveling. Especially if you're coming out here in the West. We used walkie-talkies, which worked out great because there were whole long stretches where there's no cell coverage at all. And so it was nice to communicate, yeah, hey, we want to hit this rest stop, or, you know, we're fine, let's keep moving, you know, or hey, look over there, there's something cool. So the walkie-talkies turned out to be really good, and they really worked well in Yellowstone, because in Yellowstone there's no cell coverage. And so because of the size of our group, we needed 2 cars.
Right.
And so using the walkie-talkies was really nice to communicate inside the park. Getting parking spots or,
Right.
hey, where are you? We've parked over here, now we're over there. And
We'll meet you there. We're going to go park way down here. We'll walk up
Yeah.
and meet you.
so the walkie-talkies turned out to be a really good way to communicate within our group. In the planning phase, coming into this, we didn't really know what to expect with a caravan because we've never done it before. Yeah, we travel with our friends and stuff at home, but they're short trips, in Washington, Oregon.
And we've known them for years.
Yeah, and so knowing what to pack, knowing what the weather was, I don't think we were ready for the 100-degree temperatures,
We were not.
which was fine. We had the clothes for it.
Right.
But it did challenge us with, cooling our refrigerator. When we got to Cheney, it just didn't want to cool. It'd been sitting, just the sun beating on the outside all
Yeah,
day.
5 hours traveling.
So, we weren't quite, I don't know, mentally prepared for it. The rig handled great. It wasn't without challenges. We had a blowout, and then we had a problem with, we had a bearing blow, and the brakes on
the
the
trailer.
backside here. But we just rolled with the punches because we were prepared, number one, financially, number two, mentally, for things to go wrong. Knock on wood, or thank the Lord that nothing catastrophic happened. And it was all stuff that we could just kind of roll with. But that's another thing, that if you are going to caravan, be prepared, because things are going to go wrong. And if you let those things that go wrong become an inhibitor,
You're not going to have fun.
then you're just not going to have a great caravan.
Yeah.
We learned that it is a ton of fun
Yes.
to travel with a group of people that want to have fun.
Yeah.
We have had a great time. And I think a lot of it goes back to being flexible, because when plans changed, nobody really got upset. We just kind of rolled with the change
Right.
and moved on to the next thing. There were some things that we discovered once we got to a location that, we want to see this. That wasn't on our list.
Right.
So that happened. On the first part of the trip, when we were traveling alone, we were just flying by the seat of our pants and discovering things along the way, like the Railroad Museum.
Right.
That was cool. And, the auto body shop in Casper, Wyoming, that did some work on the rig. That was fun. And that went back to communication, because we let the people know, because the next day we were meeting up with everybody. So we let them know, hey, we might get stuck.
We might be here a few hours.
Or a day. We didn't know if we were going to get things fixed. And so,
But everything worked out. We were, we just rolled with the punches.
yeah,
There's nothing you can do. Things happen.
yeah. Structurally, this thing is perfect. There's nothing wrong with this
love
rig. The bed was super comfortable. Great night's sleep for the last month. So far as the truck,
Perfect.
absolutely perfect.
Trucking along.
Yeah, that thing, doing that upgrade, I think, especially for this, before this trip, was perfect. We have a Chinook flying overhead.
They've been here all week.
Yeah, they're doing a major aviation exercise this week. He's going that way now. So,
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
yeah. So, would we do this again?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And, you got to see how you guys do together. But we had fun.
Yeah.
Um,
So one of the things that I really liked about this trip is we stayed at KOAs, we stayed at military campgrounds, We stayed at harvest hosts. We stayed at private campgrounds.
Right.
So we kind of had a good sampling of a little bit of everything. And we didn't have any bad experiences. We had a challenging experience at the second harvest host. And that was a lot of communication
Right.
that we just weren't familiar with.
Not reading everything correctly.
But
I'll throw myself under the bus.
the military campgrounds have been good. You know, they for the price, you know, we've had full hookups at both of them. Ellsworth Air Force Base had a lot more space, but we were out in the open. Here at JBLM, we're tucked into this nice little cove of bushes and trees and stuff, so totally different vibe. We're right on a lake. And then the private campgrounds, they were what they were. They were great places to just stay with full hookups. And then the KOAs are KOAs. You know, heard somebody say that KOAs is the Applebee's of campgrounds. Whole lot on the menu that you don't use.
Yep. But they're
And that-
good. We love KOAs.
Yeah.
We use
And
them
that was
a
the
lot.
case with ours. We were just staying there.
Most of them were just overnighters, so we.
Yeah. Really enjoyed the KOA at Douglas. That was really nice. And the KOA in Rollins was nice too. Mm-hmm. The KOA in Pendleton was really tight. But it was, I mean, it
Well,
was
we were
what
there-
it was.
We were just there for a night, so.
We were there for the night.
So,
so-
all in all,
Yeah.
would definitely do it
This is a
again.
great trip and I can't wait to do it again. I would like to do a longer one. I would like to head east and not come back west. We spent a lot of time going back and forth on 90 this time. But I would like to head east and pick up a caravan somewhere that's, you know, going to do some east, Midwest and east stuff. I think, again, you got to know who you're traveling with and build in some alone time
yes.
into the caravan, because you do, I mean, everybody, no matter how much you love them, you need to be alone.
You need your personal space
Yeah.
sometimes.
And that's the beauty of having your own rig, because at the end of the day, you go back and kind of chill. I would totally do it again.
I can't wait for it to do it again.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the trip?
Oh my gosh. My favorite part? I guess Deadwood. Going back to Deadwood with everybody was fun. And just walking around the town and seeing a little bit more than what we did before.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
Well, I really liked Yellowstone. But I would say that I liked the time that we were in South Dakota, because we saw so much there.
Yes, we did.
You know, we did Badlands and we did Deadwood and we went through Sturgis.
Devil's
and we
Tower.
saw Devil's Tower and Mount Rushmore
Yeah.
and Crazy Horse.
That we did do a
and,
lot.
The Dinosaur Museum and the Dinosaur Park and the movie set for
Dances
with Wolves. It just seemed like we did so much in that week. And then that was when we first met up with everybody. So I think that was my favorite part of the trip. But I would not change the fact that we came here to end the trip.
Yeah.
And just kind of wind down, spend time with friends,
And then
take that nice little day in Seattle. We're going to the ball game tonight. Spoiler alert, because you have already seen that. You would have already seen that. That was in the last video. But I would not have changed the fact that we stayed here, you know, this week to kind of wind the trip down.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, thumbs up on Caravaning. Lots of good lessons learned. Nothing real negative. And we would both do it again.
Yeah.
And we really thank you for coming along with us on this journey. It was a lot of fun. Hope you like the vlog style. Think we're going to stay with that because it seems to be working. If you haven't watched the entire playlist, you know, go ahead and click that playlist button that's somewhere here. It don't forget to share it with a friend. We haven't said that in a long while. And most importantly, we appreciate each and every one of you coming with us. And we appreciate all of you that are subscribers. You know, we were talking about views the other night, and you know, not a whole lot of views, but if the 100 people that are viewing all showed up outside of my trailer door to watch what we were doing,
That'd be awesome.
yeah, I'd be like totally ecstatic. And I probably have enough bourbon for all of you.
All right.
All right, thanks for coming.
I'm burning up in there.